Okay, so on my other channel, My Kind of Entertainment, I did a video last night directly after I finished watching Cat Williams' Woke Folk, and it was like 1 a.m. because I did see the live showing, but within 10 minutes it started pouring down rain. The internet connection got messed up, and I'm like, okay, Netflix isn't working. I'll just watch it later that night, and I did. I wanted to say about 90 minutes later. Um, the special was like, what, 63 minutes long, and I didn't like it. I honestly didn't like it. And trust and believe, some people say that just because you don't like something, it's because, oh, you went in there with the attitude that you weren't going to like it. No. This is Cat Williams' big project, the big special following the internet breaking Club Shay Shay interview that set the mood for 2024. Yet it was lackluster in so many ways. What was that one special? I think it's his first special on Netflix, like America is Great or Great American or something like that. And I remember that special not being that great because the first like 20 minutes or so, we just kept talking about where did it take place, like Jacksonville, Florida or something, which is not uncommon for a comedian to do when they get on stage for a special at whatever location, and then they'll like make their opening bit about where the special is being taped, their experiences in the area, the people there, and then they go on to their act. However, in that special, he spent like almost the first half talking about Florida. And as someone who lives in Virginia and has never been to Florida, I couldn't relate. And I'm just sitting there like, okay, man, let's get to the jokes. But then within the second half of that special, Katt brought it. And I'm like, okay, now if he would have brought that same energy to the first half, this would have been a fantastic special. Now, when I look at Woke Folk, man, let me tell you, it was hard to sit through. It truly was. Because some people in my first review, they were like, man, you're hating because it was late at night. You were probably sleepy. No, I was wide awake when I watched it, but I was getting sleepy as the special went on because I was being bored to death. It was literally that slow and that unfunny. I mean, the first, what, 12, 15 minutes in, when he got to the bit about the blind football player, that was, made me chuckle. But honestly, that was the weakest part of this special. The fact that it never gave me a what do you call it, like a hearty laugh, a healthy laugh. I didn't get any big laughs. I might have got in a ha every, well, I think twice. Whenever Katt made like a really good point, I'm like ha. But for the most part, I just got in some chuckles, and that was it, just some chuckles. Because of the fact that what made this special disappointing, like I said, this particular video, I'm not going to go into like a deep dive like my original. I highly recommend checking out the first video I did. It's only like 8 minutes long because this special was nothing home, to write home about, because I it's not this isn't the first time we've seen a comedian utilize things like, visuals or maybe even sound effects to their, routine, and it works. But for some reason, Katt's jokes weren't landing with me. Like, I could follow what he was saying, but it just seemed like he was doing a PowerPoint presentation with a couple of zany sound effects for the sake of, haha, this is funny, right? Because his special, look, usually comedians talk about current events, and sometimes they, reach back in time to bring up this thing or that thing if relevant to their jokes. But it's as strange as it is to say, Katt's subjects of discussion, for the most part, felt dated. Like the Alabama brawl. That's probably the funniest section of the special, but he didn't hit that until like the 40-minute mark. And keep in mind, I did watch the entire thing. Some people said after the first 12, 15 minutes, I just cut it off. No, I watched the entire thing at once. So my opinion is based on me watching the entire thing as opposed to some who only watched a portion of it. That was kind of funny. The Trump shoes bit, Biden's dog, but that was pretty much it. He mentioned the reparations at the ending to kind of get crowd participation. That was probably, that and the Alabama brawl were probably the only sections where you heard the crowd really enjoying it and, cheering and stuff, because most of the laughs that came from the audience felt forced, as if they kind of didn't know what exactly to laugh at. Because when you set the bar so high from the Club Shay Shay interview, people expect that special that you do to blow it out of the water. It's like, man, Katt, this is something else. We got the Kendrick and Drake thing going on. We've had all these beefs that's been, brewing since your interview. And I feel like that's the biggest missed opportunity. This tour, instead of this special, instead of woke folk, he could have come up with an entirely new set for this live show and focus on all the things that, came out to the public eye since his interview. I mean, he could have titled this special like, I told you so. And it goes back to his interview setting the mood for 2024. It's like, all lies will be exposed. All truths will be brought to the light. That kind of thing. And you have like the Diddy situation, the current beef between all the rappers. If you want to throw in some of the Monique stuff, because she went on Club Shay Shay, then you brought it on tour and whatnot. There's just such a long list of different topics that have been headlines from early January when he did his interview to where we are now in May. And I feel like he could have made a whole set based on that, and it would have been crazy. But instead, we got him referencing things, the Nationwide song that one girl was singing. Yeah, he brought up, different things in the world today, like, you can be anything you want to be because of this operation or this identity, politics, that kind of thing. This special was a letdown. It truly was. Woke folk was difficult to stay awake for. And not because the time it came on at night, but the fact the material just wasn't there. I feel like people were expecting not just a Pimp Chronicles level special, but the Katt we saw during this special was not the same Katt on Club Shay Shay. Some people say, yeah, because Katt wasn't high, he wasn't drinking or anything, but let me know in the comments. Maybe I'm in the minority, but based on the comments on my other video and just looking at Twitter, and that's the thing, I did see what Twitter had to say before I watched the special because it was trending. A lot of people said mid, but I'm like, nah, I'm not going to, listen to that. I'm going to look at it and form my own opinion, and it was lackluster. I don't even know if mid is the right word. I think I gave it like a 3.5 out of 10. But yeah, this special could have been so much more, considering Katt knew all eyes would be on him in the midst of all the craziness going on in the world in terms of these different beefs between people and different genre. I mean, look at all the comedian beef that happened, right after his interview, and then all the various other people who came on Club Shay Shay trying to replicate his viral success. But yeah, this special had so much potential, but I'd say that this is possibly one of the most disappointing specials that Netflix has put out there because the bar was just set so high, but Katt just, no pun intended, couldn't measure up. I feel like, with the Chappelle specials, I haven't really been feeling those. And, Katt has dropped a couple. I think when some of these veteran comedians just reach a certain point, they don't care anymore. When Netflix gives them a fat check because they know people are going to come in to watch, you would think they would put their best foot forward and put out the material that would resonate with fans for more than just 1 or 2 days when people drag it and then that's it. But yeah, I'm very interested to see what the reviews are going to be over the next couple of days. But for me, I just wasn't feeling it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.